Hello everyone. Now, our country is in the middle of the second COVID wave. So, contrary to what most people thought, the pandemic is not over yet, as you can clearly see. So, there are certain things that we can do to at least slow it down or prevent a third wave. The most important things are vaccinations, number one, and number two, wearing masks. There is basically nothing more we can do to prevent the spread because it's virtually airborne. Masks are the only real precautionary way we can protect ourselves because even hand washing, social distancing they're mostly obsolete right now in the light of the current scenario because India has roughly 1.4 billion people and we are a third the size of China or America in area. So a lot of people in a very small geographical region. So social mobility can't be stopped by just social distancing alone because somebody is going to touch something and somebody else is going to touch the same thing and virus particles will be like everywhere. So masks and vaccinations. I want to stress about vaccinations more than anything else because our current average per day is 25 lakhs, 30 lakhs. We have a susceptible population of 1.4 billion, children included. And to get everybody covered, or at least for herd immunity, we need 100 crore people vaccinated. So for herd immunity, we need at least 100 crore people to be vaccinated in the whole country. And at the current rate, we're not covering more than 6-7 crores per month. It's going to take a good 2 years. And by the end of that, we'll probably be in the third or even fourth wave. Now, every single person in our country who has any doubts on whether to get vaccinated, listen to me very carefully. The adverse effects of vaccinations, regardless of what type, Covaxin, Covishield, I don't care what vaccine you're talking about, regardless of the manufacturer, it's like 1 in a million, 8 in a million, 6 in a million, or at the worst, like 25 in a million. Now, the death rate, the current death rate is 1 to 3%, depending on which state you're looking at or which subpopulation you're looking at in the country. And during the first wave, it was far worse than that. So just do the math. 1 to 3 in 100 versus having an adverse effect in 1 in 10 lakhs. Or what's the worst? The worst is like 25 in 10 lakhs. Compare that to like 2.5 people in 1 lakh. So if people think that vaccination is dangerous, then that's the biggest myth of them all. So people should get vaccinated, and our healthcare sector in India has the capacity to vaccinate at least 1 crore people, 1.5 crore people per day. We have that capacity. We do have that capacity. We have the necessary staff, doctors, nurses. We have that capacity. But we are overburdened with COVID cases, diagnostics, and everything. But the state governments, the central government has to find a solution. They have to work together instead of making this somebody else's problem. This is everybody's problem. This pandemic, it doesn't belong to one party or one state. This is everybody's problem. This is a social issue that affects the whole country, regardless of whoever you are. So we have to up our vaccination rates. We just have to double our average 3 times. The starting of it when we started out in January. Like in January, it was like 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs average. That got to 30, right? And what's the maximum? 45, 50 lakhs per day. So it is easy if we put our effort into it instead of focusing on elections, instead of focusing on other issues, instead of focusing on, there's a lot of nonsense going on in the country right now. Instead of all that nonsense, if you focus on vaccinations alone, we can easily go to 1 crore per day. And if you go to 1 crore per day, we can cover 90 crore people in 3 months. In just 3 months. We already have covered 10 crore people. So we need to only cover 90 crore more than herd immunity sets in. So This is what I'm telling everybody. The politicians, the chief ministers, the prime minister, the people, everybody should have this one fact in their mind when they're going through all of this hell because of the pandemic. If you're vaccinated, the chance of you getting COVID is less than 0.01%. So yes, 99.9% of the people who are vaccinated don't get COVID again. And even if they get from some other strain or something else, it's far less severe, and they are recovering it from, like, they recover from a flu or common cold. So take this very seriously. Vaccination is the only real and effective way to end this pandemic once and for all. And we have ended so many other pandemics, like polio, smallpox. This will also go extinct. Sooner or later, COVID will be over. And how soon just depends on the people and the will of the government. Because we have to increase vaccination rates, and we have to increase mask adherence rates. So take this very seriously, people. Don't be scared of vaccinations.